Hey guys, welcome back to Shep Talk and welcome back to another Shep Talk movie review. Before we get into that review though, just a quick admin notes like always. If you haven't done so already, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It does help this channel out greatly and I do truly appreciate it. And if you want to know what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, what I'm playing, I do have social media. All those links will be in the description down below. So make sure you follow me on social media. But now, let's get back to my review of Barbie. Barbie was directed by Greta Gerwig. It was also written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. Stars Margot Robbie as Barbie, Ryan Gosling as Ken, Will Ferrell as Mattel CEO, and a crap ton of other Barbie and Ken stars. Barbie has a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes. Quick synopsis. Stereotypical Barbie is starting to have thoughts of death and depression and anxiety and has to travel to the real world to find out why her child or the real world person is having these types of thoughts. While on the other hand, Ken is finding out that he is just more than Ken. First of all, I went into this movie review pretty open-minded. I didn't know what to expect. From the trailers, I knew it wasn't probably going to be a kid's movie, and I'd probably even still say it's not really a kid's movie, depending on the kid and the age of the kid. But I knew I probably really wasn't going to be the target audience for this movie, but I am happy to say that I did enjoy this movie. I had some fun times with this movie. It made me laugh, and I also thought about some of the topics that were prolific in this Barbie movie. And of course, one of the main issues or one of the main topics that Barbie is going to bring up is the patriarchy and how this is a world run predominantly by men and how men influence what people buy, especially like Barbie, and their effect on this world. And Barbie being the doll that was supposed to be like this, give girls the, hey, this, look at, you can dream big, do this, do everything. So it can be very on the nose, it can be very out there. I can understand why some people probably would not like her to hear or see this topic being brought up. But for a movie like Barbie, they had to address it. But also, Barbie knows that it isn't innocent. There was a time that Barbie probably did more harm or did some harm to the women's rights or women's groups moving forward. And so Barbie does address that in this movie, which is good because they're not just saying, oh, look, we put this out there. We try to give girls all this power, all this empowerment. But it really didn't. At certain points in its career, in its development, Barbie kind of didn't push that stereotype away. They kind of embraced some of it. One of the things I have to say, and I kind of said it when I was going through who was in this movie, I think everybody that was not working in Oppenheimer was working in Barbie. Because those two movies, even though they're vastly different, had so many cameo appearances. Just like in Oppenheimer, if I wanted to list out every cameo that was in Barbie, that would pretty much be my whole video, because there was just so many people. If you don't believe me, just go check IMDb or go see the movie, and you'll just see that there was almost every shot, just like Oppenheimer. You're going, oh, I know that actor, or I've seen that actor, or that's that person from so and so, and it's crazy. And when it came to casting for this movie, to play the lead role, to play the stereotypical Barbie, no one is going to say that Margot Robbie was not the perfect choice for this. She is pretty much a real life Barbie, or at least in appearance. I'm not going to say that she's like vapid or airheaded or whatever, but she pretty much nails this role of Barbie. But she also gives us that emotional connection, that emotional impact as well, when she is starting to go through kind of like a crisis. I won't say midlife, but she does have a life crisis kind of feeling, where she is starting to feel like she does not belong anymore as the stereotypical Barbie, and as, in Barbie Land, that she is realizing that there's more out there and that she really doesn't fit the mold as that stereotypical Barbie anymore. Now, I'm also not going to lie though, Ryan Gosling as Ken kind of is a scene stealer in this movie. He has his comedic performance in this movie is, oh my god, he made me laugh so many times doing his stuff as Ken. Oh, and it just really seems to be like, he went all out as Ken. He's like, if I'm going to play this role, if I'm going to embrace this role, I got to go at it 100%. And he really does. And he also does have like this good side, kind of bad side in this movie too, where he's like, his main thing is determining who is he besides Ken. Supposed to be, with Barbie, and if he's not with Barbie, then what else is he? And this movie does give him that path. It does let him find out that what am I or what can I be if Barbie isn't there. And as stated, this movie has some comedic gold. It has some very funny moments in this movie. And my whole theater, I don't know about yours, if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, my whole theater was laughing throughout this movie. It does, and I'll talk about that a little later, it does have some heavy topics, but alright, we've even talked about it some already. But it has some really comedic moments that would just have you laughing throughout. And I swear to God, that finale is one of them. And I guess one of my negatives or complaints about this movie, and I knew this going in, but at the very beginning of this movie, because everybody in Barbie Land, or the majority of everybody in Barbie Land, is either named Barbie or Ken. And so, like, especially at the beginning of this movie where they're showing us going through the day of Barbie, and they're like, good morning, Barbie, good morning, Ken, good morning, Barbie, good morning, Barbie, good morning, Barbie, good morning, Ken. It got so, at least for me, annoying for a few minutes. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can stomach another hour and 40 minutes of this movie just going, Barbie, Ken, Barbie, Ken, Barbie, Ken. But luckily, after a while, it kind of get used to it, I guess. And it doesn't really happen as much as the beginning of the movie. I get what they're doing at the beginning of the movie. It's just like really, really too much at the beginning. And another kind of wasted storyline, at least in my opinion, was Will Ferrell as the Mattel CEO and the whole evil board of directors, or however you want to call them. Because except for like when they first meet Barbie and they kind of try to do what they want to do with her, they really don't seem to have a role in this movie. They're almost like some of the other movies that I've talked about where the bad guys show up just so that way the heroes have a reason to go and do something else or run away. And that's really what these Mattel people felt like. It felt like they didn't know what to do with these humans. And so they were pretty much, like forgot about, and then like, oh hey, we forgot that these guys were traveling. Maybe they should need to pop up here. And so they'll pop up here. So I felt like it was a wasted storyline. Like maybe it could have been done in a different way, but and maybe or trimmed down some so that way the runtime wasn't almost 2 hours. But yeah, that's probably one of my bigger complaints about this movie was again, the bad guys were wasted in this movie. And just like always, no movie is ever perfect, and I guess it relates to the big bad evil guy is not really having a great storyline and wasting some runtimes. But this movie does kind of lag at certain points and slow down. It is a fun movie, but that's great. You're making a great speech, but it is. You've been talking like 5 minutes about this. I think everybody's gotten the point now. Can we move to the next scene? And also, there's some moments, and I get it. This is a Barbie movie, so there's still some scenes that just don't really make no sense. Even being this like Mattel fantasy Barbie Land kind of movie, it was just like, those are the choices you went with. So yeah, I was just like, come on guys, it was very, some of the choices in this movie, either being writing or directing, just was like either too much on the nose or a little bit too much to the goofy silly side, and or make you wonder what the hell was going on. But overall, guys, like I said, Barbie is a fun and enjoyable movie. It does hit some very heavy topics and makes you think, and some people I know is going to find it very uncomfortable, but I think they needed to be said. And if you didn't think going into it, well, I guess maybe you wouldn't have thought going into a Barbie movie would try to hit these topics on the head. They really actually do try to at least bring them to the forefront and let you know that these were issues and are continuous issues in today. But I do like to say that like my theater embraced Barbie. It was packed. I went to it at a 4 o'clock showing on Thursday, and it was pretty packed. Usually my theaters when I go right after work are not packed. I can pick my seats anywhere, and I couldn't pretty much do that here. They were filling up fast, and even that day filled up even more. And everybody was embracing the pink nature for Barbie. I have a pink button-down shirt that I wear to work that I wore to the movie theater. So that way everybody was embracing the pinkness. And I think, I don't know, with as much as as Barbie has been a staple in young girls' lives, I think this movie is going to be very, very successful this weekend. And it is probably going to take the #1 spot just because it is a fun and enjoyable ride. It does hit some topics for the adult world as well. It is, again, I don't know if it is really a kids movie though. If you have kids and you've taken your kids to this movie, what did you think? Because there are definitely some moments, some talk, and some scenes in here that, depending on the age of the kids, I don't know if it's appropriate for them. But yeah, I think it will do really well. Definitely think it's probably going to do better than Oppenheimer, just for the simple fact of Oppenheimer's runtime, and it is a very heavy movie, and this is very light kind of blockbuster movie for the summer. But guys, that's all I have time for today. So Shep Talk is going to give Barbie 3 Sheps out of 5. Let me know down in the comments down below. Have you seen this movie? What did you think about this movie? Are you going to go to this movie this weekend? Are you going to rock the pink? But guys, thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments down below what you thought. But guys, this is Darth Shep signing off.